All right, folks. I know a lot of y'all were looking for this. I've been kind of waiting on it. I've been hearing things about the possibility of Tim Banks going to Toledo. That may have something to do with this, but we know the defense was just terrible this year. It was next to last in the SEC. And of course, we had the number one offense in the SEC this year, for over 40 points a game. I think it was 40.8. But we were giving up a ton of points, a ton of yardage. The Vanderbilt game probably finished, Tim, for Tennessee. I mean, Diego Pavia just ran and threw all over. I think he had like a total of almost 500 yards in that game. And I think that was the finishing touch as far as Tim Banks is concerned, unfortunately. So, I mean, I hate that for him, but it is what it is. It had to happen, I guess. Anyway, I'm going to bring on my brother Chilmont here in a minute, and we're going to talk about this and kind of talk about who we'll be looking for as a defensive coordinator and all of that. But anyway, Tim Banks has been fired. Let me pop this up real quick. You'll see Adam Sparks talking about it here. Fired, and he goes through some of the things. One of the things that's interesting about him, he was a finalist for the Broyles Award last year, and the defense was terrific last year. He kept building it up, got in the top 10, got a contract extension. He was one of the higher paid defensive coordinators, not the highest paid, but one of the, over $2 million. So he's walking away with some good money. Now, I'm sure that'll get mitigated because he'll get another job. That's not a problem. He's pretty well thought of. So I think, like I said, he might take that Toledo job. I wouldn't be surprised. Says linebackers coach William Ingay will serve as interim defensive coordinator for the not playoff shit. Well, when we're playing Illinois in the Music City Bowl, which is not the greatest bowl in the world, but I guess they figured Tennessee will show up. I mean, it's Nashville, so we'll show up for that, and we'll be playing Brett Bielema. So that'll be fun. Let me remove this. And I'm going to bring Chilmont in, and we're going to talk about this and discuss it. All right, Chilmont. Not so good what happened.
Yeah, no, Doug, I agree 100%. We beat Florida at Florida for the first time in like 100 years, and then get our butts whooped by Vanderbilt. And that's pretty much an unforgivable sin at Tennessee, and somebody's head had to roll. And then I just guess they just decided it was Tim Banks. But like you said, I mean, we had the best defense. We were reversed last year. We had the best defense and a kind of meh offense. This year we had by far the best offense, which was the thing nobody expected after losing Nico. And then the defense was just terrible. And the injuries, he's a victim of some major injuries too.
Yeah, those two bad injuries. Jermod McCoy was a killer. That was just an absolute killer. All-American, one of the best cover corners in the country. First-round draft pick stock goes out in the offseason. And then the very first ball game, Gibson gets hurt and is out for the year. Yeah. And you're going, holy crap, our two cover corners, one's basically all SEC, one's All-American, is out. So now your coverage changes. So now you got to use your safeties to help cover the corners, which that hurts your run game. So our run game that had been so vaunted for years, I mean, that was the one really good thing about Tim Banks' defense, was that we stopped the run pretty well. And this year we couldn't stop the run either.
I wonder how much of a victim Banks is of, when the whole Nico debacle happened, we spent so much money on offense, getting receivers, getting quarterback in the transfer portal who turned out great. But I wonder how much that left not so much for defense, and especially in the transfer portal, when we maybe could have picked up a good corner or something. Instead, we had to start like two freshman corners, and they just got smoked all the time.
Well, we picked up the guy from Colorado that was a good player, and he helped us out. They picked him up to replace McCoy. Now, he couldn't replace McCoy completely, but he was solid. That was Colton.
Yeah, that's right.
The Colton kid. But he played well. But you had to put the freshman in, who he's a decent player, but he's not Gibson's level, and Colton's.
He will be good, I think. He just got thrown into the deep end.
A true freshman. You don't want a true freshman playing cornerback unless he's a super high 5-star that's like a phenom.
Yeah, and we had most of a great defensive line graduated or went on to the NFL, and then Boo Carter. Who saw that coming?
Well, that also, a lot of people don't think about that. He was a freshman All-SEC safety, and he was a difference maker. And he just decided he didn't want to play.
I'm done with you guys.
Yeah, well, he got butt hurt.
And it's like, what?
Well, he disappeared for a month, basically, in the summer.
Yeah.
And then he got in trouble for that, and then he couldn't let it go. It's like, no, I can't be punished. No. So he pretty much decided he didn't want to play. So yeah. you lost your 3 best defensive backs, 2 to injury, 1 to didn't want to play.
Well, it completely changes your defense. Now you have to go to that soft zone, and that's basically like we had a prevent defense all year, pretty much.
Yeah,
is what it almost amounted to, and I mean we were just giving up big plays, and like you said, Vandy. I mean, what was it? Almost 500 of offense. 500 yards
by himself. He ran for 150 and he threw for about 300. So
yeah,
we had no answer. We had no answer for Diego Pavi. And that's when for me, I was like, you know what? If Tim Banks is let go, he's let go. I was kind of in his corner because of the injuries and Boo Carter and all the money. We tied up most of our money for the defensive backs in 3 players: McCoy, Gibson, and Carter. All 3 of them didn't play.
Yeah.
That's a killer.
And that was most of our NIL money for defense. And
well, for the defensive backs, it was.
Yeah, especially for that. And somebody had to be the sacrificial lamb. So there it is. But like I said, losing to Vandy is not acceptable. Even though they have a great quarterback. And thank goodness he's going to be gone after this year.
Well, yeah, he definitely is. He's had his 4 years Division I. Yeah, that was the final straw for a lot of people. I've been hearing about it all year, and I was kept cutting him slack because of the situation, the defensive backs. But there was no excuse for the Vanderbilt thing. I mean, look, Diego's a fine player. He's a heck of a player, but he's not.
Could nobody spy him?
I just have no explanation for that at all. That's the worst defense I've seen us have since the first year that Heupel came here, and we had 30 players leave and all the best defensive players.
Oh, yeah.
And we couldn't replace them at the time. That was a terrible defense. We just happened to have Hendon Hooker and a great offense. We went 7-6. Yeah. Had we had Nico Iamaleava at quarterback, we at best go 6-6 this year, at best.
Oh, yeah.
Joey helped a lot.
I think more like 5-7.
Yeah, it could have been easily. We could have been real happy to go to the Music City Bowl.
Because there's no way Nico would have been the best quarterback in the conference.
Lord, no, absolutely not. Are you kidding me? And he would have had a ton of excuses. You've only got 2 5-star tackles for me. I needed 3. That's what it'd have been. And you need to change the offense so when I overthrow a guy, it becomes a completion, which is kind of hard to do. It's hard to find a guy that runs a 3.9 40, which is what you'd have to, and then he'd overthrow him.
Yeah. How did his search for better offensive linemen go this year?
Oh my gosh, dude, he was running for his life at UCLA.
Oh yeah.
They got beat by 2 group of 5 teams in the first 3 games, which was hilarious. That was, I was like, man, this is making YouTube videos for me.
Oh, I know. And the most shocking thing was when they beat Penn State. That's what got Franklin fired.
That was the shocker.
I'm telling you, that's what got Franklin fired.
Definitely. And here's what happened there. They fired the entire coaching staff. They fired Deshaun Foster. their defensive and offensive coordinator. So everybody got fired. The Tino Sinceri, so they're all gone. So Penn State comes in there thinking, "Oh, this is going to be a cakewalk," and they had just lost to Oregon, so they were down and out, and they were like, "We got to go all the way across the country to go beat the crap out of this nothing team." And UCLA had a new offensive coordinator that threw wrinkles, and he had Nico running, and all of a sudden they were in a ball game, and that can happen in football.
Oh yeah.
You don't just roll the football out there and whatever happens, happens. Oh, and I want to give a shout out to Larry from Knoxville, who I ran in today at lunch over at Firehouse Subs, and he watches the show, and he wanted to give a shout out to his kids that watch too, Savannah and Wyatt. Wyatt's an offensive tackle, and he's a former football coach, loves the show, and anyway, shout out to Larry and his kids. But yeah, this is a heck of a situation here with I wonder who they'll get now. I mean, he's got the money to get who he wants. And there's a bunch of them out there because there's been a bunch of coaches fired and there's a lot of coordinators swinging in the wind.
Who had a good defense and a crappy offense that got fired?
I think he's going to swing for the fences on this one, which I know I would, and he's got the money to do it. See, we're in a different situation now. This Adidas deal, there's a reason why we finished 7th in recruiting, which is by far the best Josh Heupel's done all year. I mean, in the last 5 years. We've got that Adidas money, which has kind of put us in another category. Really, we were one play. If we'd had one more player that would have hung with us, we'd have been in top 5. So now that we're in good shape on this, I think he's going to swing for the fences and spend $2.5–3 million for a defensive coordinator because that's all he needs. All Josh Heupel needs, he needs a quality quarterback with an accurate arm and a good defense. If he's got that, we're going.
Well, that's it. And I mean, do we get Joey back for one more season? Seems like we might. So. And if we do, that's huge.
If not, they'll probably go out and get a really good candidate that can give us 1 year, because we've got 2 quality quarterbacks behind him. We've got a high 4-star in George McIntyre. We've got Faison Brandon, the number 1 quarterback in the country. Of course, we got the number 1 wide receiver in the country coming in Tristan Keys. So we're fine. Offense, we're going to be good.
Yeah, offense should still be good.
Yeah, we don't.
Can
really
we rebuild the defense, and how much does it hurt our defense? Because I didn't really look at the defensive side of the recruiting much, but I don't know how much that hurts losing Banks.
You might lose a player or 2 in the transfer portal.
Yeah,
but I'm sure his plan is he's probably got a guy in mind, and probably making an offer today. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody's hired in the next 72 hours. That wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. He's probably got a guy lined up. Most coaches would normally have somebody in mind.
Wish we could get Indiana's.
Well, I tell you what, Kirk Cignetti, man, what a turnaround. And that goes to show you with NIL, you can win
anywhere. It's a game changer.
You can win anywhere. But let's take a look at Tim Banks and why. Here, I'll show you exactly why in a chart. Why he's got fired. And it's this right here. You can see in 2021, first year, comes in 90th, and that was the terrible defense. Then he started improving, 37th, and then 22nd. Got to 7th last year in national defense, and then went back to 86th. That's what killed him right there as far as keeping his job. You can't have a fall back to step 1.
Yeah.
That's not going to work, because if you think about it, what if that would have happened to our offense this year? We'd have gone 3-9, 2-10. And you're going
UCLA would have been better than us.
Yeah, and you're going into a very difficult situation next year. You're going to be playing 9 games in the SEC. Plus, we got to play Georgia Tech, who's probably the top team in the ACC. So you've got 10 tough ball games coming at you, and you'd better have a defense.
Yeah.
So 2 things I want to see out of Josh Heupel. Number 1, obviously, find a great defensive coordinator with a great history. And if you got to pay $3 million, you pay $3 million. That's number 1. Number 2, you need to go in the portal and you need to get some defensive backs that are quality proven players, not just one like Colton Hood. We need 2 Colton Hoods. We need 2 safeties. We need a big defensive lineman who's ready to stop the run.
Yeah.
and just we've got to fill those positions.
Yeah.
And we've got also one other positive, especially in the SEC. We're moving from 85 scholarships to 105. They just voted on it yesterday, this weekend. The presidents did. So now we have 20 additional scholarships. So that's worth a lot of money. You not only can pay them money, but now you've got that extra true scholarship. You don't have to just have them come in as a walk-on. That's an extra 50, 60,000 bucks right there times 20. It's about $1 million bucks. And it opens up a bunch of spots. So I think you're going to see Josh Heupel go crazy in the portal, hopefully with defensive back.
Well, it's all a money game now, and you got to spend it.
Yeah,
you got to spend it to make it.
They're going to be out there. January 3rd, I believe, is when Christmas shopping starts for coaches.
It's Black Friday for the transfer portal.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting because I'm looking for Josh to go out there and find him another Jermod McCoy. I mean, we probably won't get that lucky, but if you pick up 3 or 4 guys in the defensive backfield that have got quality starts underneath them, or you might pick up a real high 4-star that has been kind of sitting on the bench that is ready to go, but he's got some superstar in front of him. That's a possibility as well. But we've got to get some more talent in that defensive backfield. It's just a fact.
Absolutely. How do you feel about the Music City Bowl?
I'm always glad if we get an extra game. So that's number one. That an extra ball game for me is great. I love the fact we're playing Illinois. I think that's a great matchup.
That should be a good game. Yeah,
and you got Brett Bielema, and of course he's famous for the not hot dog incident, but with Shane Beamer. And
the fair catch symbol incidents.
Oh yeah, the ethically inappropriate fake call.
Yeah.
Beamer pulled.
Yeah,
always count on Beamer. So
yeah, he's a jerk. I'm sorry, he just is.
Well, he just can't help it. And
he allegedly cheated with the help of Michigan.
They went what did they go 3-9 this year or something?
Yeah.
It was a total reversal last year.
Yeah, didn't get anybody signs this year, did he?
Well, hopefully he doesn't. Well, thank goodness he didn't get fired, because I've already lost so many coaches that I enjoyed covering that if I'd lost him, he's good for at least 3 shows a year of something crazy, stupid he does. Whether it's breaking his foot, kicking a cooler, or whether it's complaining about hot dogs, or whether it's going crazy on Brett Bielema. I mean, that was 3 fun YouTube videos for me to cover. And then I can always kind of splash that in throughout the year. All his little things that he does. See, I enjoy that kind of crap.
Well, just him going George Brett, like the Pine Tar incident, it's just too funny.
Oh, and that's exactly what it was. Oh, man. God, why didn't you tell me that earlier? I would have had some fun with that.
I thought of it, but you'd already done the video and everything.
You can – hey, look, I can always go back and add
something.
Yeah. Matter of fact, it's here, Wilmot. You'll see that.
You pulled a George Brett.
George Brett. Oh, God, that's exactly what it was. It was
exactly. Come out there screaming and 9 guys having to hold him back and everything. Brett Bielema would have beat the crap out of him. I'm sorry. He just sat on him.
That'd have been an interesting fight.
Yeah.
I think the problem is Beamer could have kept his distance and just popped him a few times, because Bielema's overweight.
Yeah.
That'd have been fun to watch.
If Bielema could get hold of him, though, I think he'd crush him.
Oh, yeah, it'd be ugly then. Will Muschamp, huh? That's it. Let's hear from you folks. What are y'all thinking out there as far as who we should?
I don't hate Muschamp. I mean, I hope he's got his anger management under control.
Oh boy, he was kind of a crazy man, wasn't he?
Yeah, of course he was younger then.
Wasn't he at Florida, and then he went to South Carolina?
Oh yeah, and he was looking. I remember there's a great little clip of him looking at one of his players, just mean mugging the crap out of him. That's too funny.
Says Chilmont for defensive coordinator. I don't think I'd vote for that. I wouldn't put Sports Talk Jay as defensive coordinator either.
No. I played a little defense in high school, but that was about it.
Yeah, Wilmot be better than me. He played at a higher level. I just played through middle school. He played in high school.
Yeah, you were Optimist Club.
Yeah,
Optimist
Club. Well, I tell you what creaked me was I found golf. And once I found golf, I was like,
it's over then.
It just spoke to me. The whole sport spoke to me. And I was like, okay, I'm done with these other sports. I was trying to play football and basketball and all that. And I was like, I'm not that good at these. I'm not big enough for football. I'm not fast enough. I'm sneaky slow. But that worked out great in golf. So,
well, I knew golf after I got out of high school, and I attempted a meager attempt at walking on at UT, and I played with Junebug and Jim Gallagher.
Oh, Jumping Jim Gallagher.
Yeah, he had a really good pro career, and he on one hole I remember we were about the same distance off the tee, and he did like a 3-iron. I'd hit a driver, and I hit like a 6-iron just off the green, and he hits the one and knocks it over the green. And I said, "What'd you hit there?" And he said, 9. And I'd hit a 6-iron, same distance. And I just went, I'm in the wrong place here. This is something different, and these guys are out of my lane. And Kevin was about the same. Heck, Junior can hit a lot further than me too, but those guys were nuts.
Yeah, that they were really. Jim Gallagher made a ton of money on the PGA Tour, won a bunch of tournaments too. Jumping Jim.
Yeah, is he still commentating? I think maybe.
Yeah, he was a commentator for a while.
Yeah,
they called him Jumping Jim because he about jumped out of his shoes. He was one of those guys that built up his power and then lifted as he swung.
Oh yeah, almost like a long drive guy.
Yeah, he was one of those long hitters back before we understood how important that was.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that Tennessee team, my team, my God, I had some guys on my team. One of them played in the Masters. One won the Chattanooga Open. Another kid finished top 10 in the nation. Another kid won the SEC. And
wow.
My roommate is the one that played in the Masters. So so many good players over there. So many great players.
Yeah.
Well, let's see how people are thinking. Zach Alley from West Virginia. Sal Sinceri available. Man, there's so many. Everybody's coming up with names. See, I don't keep up with the coordinators as much as I do head coaches and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, me neither.
I mean, not many people do. Those are sort of in the weeds names.
Yeah, they're more insiders are paying attention to that. But it'd be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see who they get, how quickly they get him.
Wait a minute. Kirby Smart, yes. I'm a yes on Kirby
that would
Smart
be
as the coordinator. I think he'd be great. Everybody's bringing up Jim Knowles. Did Jim Knowles get fired? He's at Penn State. He went from Ohio State to Penn State.
He may have gotten let go.
And then he let Nico run all over him. Here's one.
Oh, I don't know, yeah.
Chucky.
The groove. Soon.
Jim, everybody's saying Jim Knowles. I don't know. He was a big name for a while. He's making $3 million a year at Penn State. They gave him a contract. Isn't he still there, or did they let him go when they fired?
I was going to say he may very well be available. So that's another thing.
Yeah, he would be because they hired the kid from Iowa State.
Yeah,
he looks like a kid. He's the kid that he's got that hat that's always curled in like a fisherman.
Oh yeah, he looks like he's the guy who passes you doing 110 on the interstate.
Oh, Knowles did get fired. He did get fired. I knew somebody from Ohio State would know that. They keep track of that crap. They keep track of those guys that walk away from them. They don't like them. He doesn't get the money he wants. Let's see. Yeah. See, Pinky's an Ohio State person. She doesn't like him either. He'll run out on your team when he doesn't get the money he wants. That's what he did to Ohio State.
Yeah.
And is the best thing that happened for Ohio State, really, because, I mean, crap.
Well, that Lane Kiffin's loyal.
Well, you got Ohio State's got the #1 defense in the country. That's not why they lost the ball game, by the way. I mean, they allowed 13. You allowed 13 points, you should win that game.
Yeah. They just don't have an offense.
Yeah. Well,
they have a crap schedule too.
They do have an offense. It's just it's not as good as it was last year. Look, losing that game might have been the best thing for Ohio State, honestly. It might wake them up just like it did last year. You never know. But Chip Kelly, they might, who knows, maybe they'll go back and get Chip Kelly again. He got fired from Oakland, or the Raiders. I always call them Oakland. Let's see. Oh, the Notre Dame. Yeah, I've been covering Notre Dame a lot. They are very unhappy. Very unhappy.
Yeah. Things are very, very disgruntled in Notre Dame Nation.
I'm going to cover them later because there's something that's been done with that playoff that a lot of people don't know about. It's a huge advantage to Notre Dame. I'm going to be covering that later today. That was what I was going to cover on this until this broke, and I was like, "Crap, I got to jump on for this one." I mean, this is such a big move.
I know you did a video on Kirby's comments, and he's 100% exactly right.
I as soon as I saw that, I was like, "I'm totally doing a show on this."
Yeah, because he's well, it's like you said. We already played 9 games this year, and he did, and they're beat up, and so is Alabama.
Dude, Alabama had like 12 guys out.
Yeah.
Of that game. That's not even the Alabama that we played. That's a very different Alabama.
I think it's possible the SEC commissioner might be the dumbest man in America.
Greg Sankey. He's a dummy.
And quick question. Who is responsible for hiring or firing the SEC commissioner, and why aren't they fired?
Oh, I've got a little video clip. We were talking about Diego earlier. This is what Diego did to our defense.
Pain! Pain! Pain!
That's what happened. That's what Diego did to us.
Well, it reminded me of Fran Tarkington running around making all those big linemen look like idiots, just running around for 10 minutes till somebody finally got open.
Oh, yeah. And then back on Greg Sankey, the SEC office. Next year, he's going to be under the gun like you cannot believe from the SEC coaches, because when they get a hold of this 9-game schedule and we get to that college football playoff, especially if they haven't moved to 16 and we lose 2 or 3 teams out of that playoff, it's going to get ugly at that SEC office.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
It jumped up a notch.
It did, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to get ugly in there. Very ugly.
And it should. That's the dumbest move I ever heard of in my life. I said it at the time, and there was somebody saying, "Oh, I don't mind that. It'd be better football." No, we're going to get destroyed. And Kirby's right. It's an automatic 8 additional losses, which keeps teams out of the playoff. And we'll probably, if we go to a 16-team playoff, we might have the same number of teams we have this year, which is 5. Probably should have been 6. But, we just destroy ourselves because the competition is so tough, and everybody's pretty good in the SEC, unlike the Big Ten and certainly the ACC. Half of Ohio State's games would be considered, their conference games would be considered chumps for us.
Who's that? You're talking about the Big Ten? Yeah, the Big Ten's they're just top heavy. They've got Ohio State, Oregon, now Indiana.
But that's the point. They have a much easier route.
And Michigan when they got Connor. And then Illinois is pretty good. Illinois is a good quality team. But then they've got the bottom half, which is Northwestern, UCLA, Rutgers, all down the line. And then they had a bunch of other teams that used to be pretty good that are terrible now. And I don't understand what happened to the Big Ten, because if you think about it, they get more TV rights money than even the SEC. So what are they doing with that money? What are those teams at the bottom half of the Big Ten doing with that money when Ohio State spends the money? They take that money and they get really good players. Why are these other teams that are getting all that TV rights money not spending it on football? I don't get it. It makes no sense to me.
Maybe they're diverting.
Follow what OSU does.
Maybe they're diverting it to worthless academics.
Yeah, that's possible.
I mean, what a waste of money that is. No, but,
Definitely.
but
Yeah, Notre Dame's got a secret weapon coming for them, and that's why they're never going to join a conference. But they love the independence. They love getting off. See, they've got their own separate deal with NBC. So
see, I don't think they should be allowed in the playoff. Period. I don't care if they go undefeated. If you're not in a conference, you don't play a conference championship, you're not in.
well, you'll like
And
this video.
and if the NCAA had the cojones to do that, they should.
They should force them to go into a conference. I agree. Big Ten would love to have them. Would love.
God.
They've done everything they can to get them, and Notre Dame won't let them. But I tell you
They'd
what, I
probably
bet
get more
wish
money if
were
they
in a
did.
conference this year. I bet they wish they were in a conference this year because this is what happened to them.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do is piss and moan like an impotent jerk and then bend over and take it up the tailpipe!
You've been here before, haven't you?
That's what's going to happen, and that's what happened to Notre Dame. So for all you folks out there that are mad that Notre Dame doesn't join a conference, at least they got creeked this year, and they deserve to get in and not have these two group of five teams got in the playoff. Two, not one, two got in. James Madison. What the crap is James Madison? What is that even?
I think that's don't they make pastries?
That's what I thought.
No, that's Dolly Madison. That's Dolly Madison.
Yeah, pastries. Maybe they make pastries. I don't know. Tulane's down there in Louisiana, and Florida has possibly hired Billy Napier 2.0 because where was Billy Napier from? He was from Louisiana Tech, which was a Sun Belt, whatever, and Group of Five from Louisiana, and they've hired a Group of Five guy. This is John Summerall. Now, maybe he's good. Maybe he's going to be good, but boy, it feels, and I was watching, I got another show I got to do too. I was watching the AD from Florida talking about Lane, and I know exactly why he didn't hire Lane Kiffin. I know exactly why, and I've got the proof. So I'm going to bring that out later today too. I've got a bunch of stuff I'm wanting to cover, but I may have to combine some stuff. This kind of monkey wrench into my plans, which I'm fine with it. I knew this was a possibility, a high possibility.
Yeah.
Heupel's never really fired anybody. You know, he's not a firing type guy. He gets comfortable.
He hasn't really had to. All those guys have taken bigger jobs.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. We lost
Golish
to USF, and now he's at Auburn, which I think is a pretty good get for them.
I think that's going to be a great hire for them.
It might.
If they'll spend some money with him, because he's an offensive guy, unlike Freeze. And I don't know what Freeze's deal was. I think he just got a big contract and decided he wanted to pay out because he was playing golf instead of. That's what I'm saying. And whereas Golish will come in and he will make their offense better for sure.
Yeah, they'll score points, and they kept the same defensive coordinator that they had, which is a big part of why they wanted him. They're like, look, we need you for offense. We've already got the defense covered. I think they'll be. You never know. Look, you never know when you take somebody from a small school and bring them into the SEC. That's a whole nother level. Now he's
proven under Heupel though. He was proven under Heupel for sure,
and he's done a great job at USF. So very solid. He beat two top 25 teams.
Yeah.
But one thing we have not talked about and needs it, and that's Vanderbilt went 10-2 in the SEC and didn't get into the playoff, while James Madison and Tulane did. And they didn't even come close to getting into the playoff at 10-2. And the two losses they had were on the road to Alabama and on the road to Texas. I mean,
the whole original playoff thing was designed to give some of these crap teams from crap conferences into the playoff, an entry into the playoff that would not be based on merit. It would just be based on, we won our conference, so we're in.
Yeah.
So, if you win conference USA, who cares? I mean,
you don't think the Sun Belt champion should get in?
That's what I'm saying. And the Sun Belt shouldn't have anything to do with the playoff. And it's, and then you had, you almost had to put Duke in with 5 losses because they won the ACC.
And that how crazy was that? At least Duke can line up.
Yeah. at least Duke's a name.
Yeah. Well, and they've got some players. Let me tell you what happened to Vanderbilt. And it's all about their name. That's part of it. Part of it is this ridiculous letting 2 group of 5s in. Part of it's not having 16 teams like they should have gone to. And the other part is their name. And this is exactly what happened to Vanderbilt right here. Exactly.
Honey, look around you. To everyone here who matters, you're vapor. You're spam. A waste of perfectly good yearbook space. Nothing's going to change that.
Yeah, that's what happened to them right there. Vanderbilt got mean girl treatment.
Yeah, the playoff committee is so politicized, it's ridiculous. But the only good thing about it is they really can't screw up getting at least the top 7 or 8 best teams. At least they can't screw that up. But that bottom 6 teams, that's all going to be politics always.
And that's where all the controversy and politics are.
Exactly.
That's why I don't understand why they just didn't go to the 16. That would eliminate so many problems, because then you would have had some really qualified teams get in. Not putting Notre Dame in was monstrous. I mean, I never dreamed they would have the cojones.
That was really stunning, because I've joked about this. I've joked about Notre Dame for years. If they fielded a team of cheerleaders, they'd be in the top 5 preseason and in the top 25 with 1 win at the end of the season, because that's how the pollsters are. But for them to keep them out, I think that somebody wanted to send a message that you're not in a conference, and I totally agree with it. Sorry, Notre Dame, but you get your ass in a conference and play a conference championship game, or shut up.
Yeah. I mean, they really need to, but they're not going to. They love being the independent. It makes them feel special, and they are. Look, Notre Dame's a huge.
Well, they get to make their schedule. They get to make their own schedule like they want, and they can make it easy, and then say, well, we're Notre Dame. We only lost 2 games, so there.
Oh, what do you think's going to happen with Ole Miss now? See, Ole Miss, don't they get that easy game, don't they? Aren't they playing James Madison? I don't even have it pulled up, dang it. But I think they're either playing James Madison or Tulane first off the bat. And
did they get Tulane?
Crap. Y'all
no,
tell
I think Oregon got James Madison.
Quicker to go to comments. Who are they playing, folks? Rather than me, Tulane. Here we go. I knew somebody'd have it immediately. Eric from Eric's got it. Tulane. So they get to play Tulane. So they're and they've already played. That's it. They've already played Tulane. They beat them by 35 points. They beat them by 5 touchdowns. And the last 22 plays, they ran the ball and scored 10 points, and they never threw it once. And they put their backups in. So they're already to the next round. They're already in the second round.
Yeah, they're semifinal bound.
Oh, and
now who they meet there, it might change things because they've got a different head coach now. So it'll be interesting to see when they actually play some quality competition. But it's Oregon has football powerhouse. Because you have to give Oregon an easy game because that's the law.
Yeah. So that's basically 2 buys is what it is.
Yeah.
And you could have had Notre Dame in there, and you could have had a Vanderbilt or a BYU or some team that legitimately deserved to be in there, even in Texas. But
it should have been Notre Dame and Vandy.
Oh,
and those would have been good games.
LSU has to pay Lane Kiffin for every victory that Ole Miss has moving forward, because he's got a bunch of bonuses tied to it. So every time they win a game, so if they beat Tulane, they owe him like $1 million. And then they got to
surely that doesn't. If he's not coaching, surely that doesn't.
They got to pay him. LSU is going to pay him his bonuses.
Man, I'm telling you, the best job in America is a fired Division I football coach.
Yeah, if you're a head coach, it definitely is.
If you're a head coach, the best thing can happen to you is get fired. You're going to be a multimillionaire, and you don't have to do a damn thing.
Yeah, and I can tell you, the Ole Miss people they're very angry with Lane.
Don't talk to me like that. People are scared of me.
Why would anyone be scared of you? I hate you, you big fat turd.
That's
Oh,
great.
Lord. All right. Well, I think we need to end on that one, Wilmot.
All right.
I appreciate you popping on and discussing this with me. Very interesting. I'll be keeping track of this, and we'll come out with the show as soon as he hires somebody on this particular issue. But I appreciate all y'all showing up. Gosh, we got over almost 1,300 people in here, Chilmont.
Wow.
That's a lot of people watching live. But
Yeah,
we'll see you next
on a
time.
Monday afternoon.
We'll see you next time on Sports Talk Jay.
See ya.
All right.